Hey guys, so I've been running a business for about 3 to 4 years now, and there is so much that is told to you that you should be doing when you are starting a business or running your business and trying to scale it. And nobody really talks about some of the lies that we've been told about how easy it might be to run a business, how much money you can make while running a business, and how much planning it takes to run a business. So in hindsight, me looking back, I wanted to create this video to share with you some of the discrepancies and some of the things that I thought were gonna come along with running a business and what actually came with running a business. And I have seen a lot of success. I've made close to 10K months, consistent 10K months, and was well on my way towards a 6-figure income for my first year in my business. So many people don't really see much income coming in for the first couple years in their business. Maybe they're just breaking even, but I was super lucky to have the support and the strategies in place to get me towards 10K months within my first year. So that was really exciting, but then I actually paused my business for a year, the second year, due to some of the overwhelming demands that came with running a business. And so in taking that time off, haven't seen both sides, haven't seen the success that came with my business and also the ways in which I burnt out in my business, and now coming back to run my business in a much more sustainable way. I really wanted to create this video to tell you and share with you some of the lies that might have been told around running a successful business. Whether you are a coach, a freelancer, focusing on a service-based business, this will be the video. And if you don't know me already, my name is Morgan and I am a holistic wealth coach, really empowering female entrepreneurs to build wealth in their personal life and for their business, as well as improving their overall well-being with some of the strategies and mindset practices that I implement into my coaching. I first want to start off and say that if you are going to run a business, you definitely need to have some sort of plan. Now, for me, I didn't have like a 60-page business plan document that I walked myself through and filled out before starting the business. I think there is just some key things that you want to be aware of when you are starting a business. I think over time I was able to have everything in one place as to what was needed to continue growing my business most efficiently. And so there are going to be different areas in a business that you are going to want to focus on from the onset and as you continue to grow and scale. And so in the beginning, what I did was a lot of research. So I think just educating yourself on like what is it going to take to start a business, to run a business, what are the different areas of the business that you are going to have to primarily show up in and manage. So for me, I realized that this could be broken down into like 5 main areas. And I've actually created a business dashboard that I'll get into in a second that you can actually purchase to help you get the ground running for your business and to streamline and organize everything in place as your business continues to grow. So operations is going to be a big one. So when I think of operations, it is definitely going to be branding and figuring out the vision of the company. So if you haven't already, definitely determining what is my mission? Why am I doing this? Why am I running this business? What are the values for the people who are going to be working for the business? But also, how do you want to show up for your business? What are the values that are going to be important as we're working towards bringing this product or service to the world? And then branding, so for me, like, what is the logo gonna be? What are the colors? What are the themes? What's the mood and design of my business? Whether it is, because my business was online and it was virtual and it's digital, a lot of that was more so like, what are the theme and colors going to be for like my website, across my social media? You want your branding to be consistent. So these are some of the visionary things that we're thinking of when we think of operations. We're also thinking of project management when it kind of comes to operations too. So like, where are we storing our ideas? Where are we putting together the goals for the next 30, 60, 90 days for our business? So that is sort of what I think of when it comes to operations. Also, scheduling. How are you going to communicate with people, with prospective clients, with an audience, with your teammates? If you hire a virtual assistant, where is that all going to be organized? So that is sort of the operational side of the business. So I figured that out real clear in the beginning of my business journey. And I'm super techie, so I'm someone that's really into all like the tools and the platforms and figuring things out. Some people aren't, and that can really overwhelm them. So I think whether you hire somebody to help you get that into place, or like I said, you could purchase dashboards or business planners that are out there. I have one that you can use to help sort of reduce that overwhelm. The second area we might look at is like customer relationship management, because we want to keep track of the people that are coming into our business, that are interacting with the business, that are purchasing from the business. Legal structure, right? So we're going to make sure that we have certain policies on our website. We're going to have to set up like either an LLC or a corporation. Marketing strategies is going to be a big one, right? Like, how are you going to share with the world what your business offers? How are people going to find out about you? Because no one's going to be able to read their minds and be like on Google typing in your business for a specific product or service because they don't know you yet. So how are you going to make yourself discoverable is going to be really important to figure out. And then financial planning, right? How are you going to budget this venture? The start of the venture, when money does come in, do you have a budget tracker? Do you have a way to manage and oversee the finances that are coming in and out? So I actually just launched this week a business planner. And I've mentioned it in my community post already. If you haven't seen that, then you are just finding out now that I have launched this amazing business dashboard that I created in Notion. And I actually have sections for each of these areas that I just spoke about. So if this is something that you think is going to interest you, if you are just starting off your business, or if you just have everything all over the place and you want it in one seamless platform, Notion, my Notion dashboard will be the best start for you. Definitely check in the description below. I will have a link to the Etsy shop where you can make that purchase. It is currently 20% off, so do not wait. I think today is the last day, September 5th. If you are watching this video, I am dropping it on September 5th. So today is your last day to get that. If you actually are watching this video and you still want it, but you watched it a couple days after, please send me an email and I might work something out for you so that you can still get the discount, okay? Because I really want you to get your hands on this. I really believe that organization is the foundation for any successful business, right? So you may not necessarily have to have a specific type of business plan, but I think having a space and a place where you can keep all these different areas and departments of your business together from the beginning, slowly over time, you will be able to better get an idea of like what needs to be done. So you don't need that like 60-page business planner that you find online with like a bunch of stuff that you don't even understand or need to fill out. And a part of that research is going to be really understanding your audience and your clientele. So that's also found in the business dashboard as well. I have an ideal client profile page where you can in detail figure out who your ideal client is, who your ideal customer is. That is going to be super, super important before you start your business. And if you already started your business and you haven't done that yet, definitely check out that page in the business dashboard. Okay, so second lie is that you are going to have so much time and freedom. And there's a catch-22 because you will have, it depends on how you run your business. But for the most part, if you are not organized, which is why I mentioned having something like the business dashboard, if you are not organized, if you do not have strategies in place, if you are not auditing your time and how long it takes to do certain things, and you're not putting them in calendars to see visually how much time you have allocated, all these things that you could be doing to better create that time and freedom, if you are not doing it, you can actually be working more hours than someone who's working a 9 to 5. And I've seen this with so many people, even myself. You start a business and you have no time for anything. And then you get to a point where you're super burnt out. And that really is not supposed to be the purpose of having a business. You are not supposed to be burnt out. You are supposed to be doing as minimal amount of work as possible and seeing the maximum output and result. So when you first start a business, that might not be the case, but if you're into your business months in, years in, and you still don't have that time and freedom, you definitely are not running your business in an organized, streamlined, and efficient way. And I learned that the hard way eventually when I realized I was being burnt out. And the interesting thing is you don't even have to be burnt out in terms of time, because I was really good with managing my time in my business. I got to a point where I was only spending maybe 15, 20 hours a day, and I started to hire assistants so that a lot of that work could be outsourced. The work that I didn't want to do and the work that was taking up the most time. It was more so how I was going about marketing my business. So that is going to be my next point, which is social media is all you need for marketing. That's definitely a lie. You do not need only social media to run a business. In fact, you don't need to use social media at all. I actually have a video on this, so if you want to check that out, definitely, I'm not sure what side it's gonna come up on, but definitely check out that video as well. And I share how I've been able to grow my business and to see 10K months without relying much on social media. And a lot of the growth that I saw in my business, even though at the time when I first started was using Instagram, a lot of the income that came in was not through using social media. So definitely go check out that video to see how I did that. But you also need to have a diverse marketing strategy. So not only do we want to use social media, but we need to be focusing on networking, collaborations with other people, how we can optimize using other people's platforms to grow ours, and SEO. Do not underestimate the power of blogging, websites, and email marketing. Email marketing is the number one strategy you should have when you first start your business. It is the only platform that you own, that you have, where you cannot lose the information of who your audience is. So for example, with Instagram or any of these other social media platforms, they can go down. They can ban you. Your account can be banned or blocked or whatever the case may be. How are you going to communicate with your audience? So having an email newsletter or just having a mailing list in general is going to be crucial and the first thing that you should have when you are establishing a business. A lot of people don't think about it, but you do not want to be chasing your tail afterwards when things go wrong in order to start setting that up. And that also kind of leads into the point that I was trying to make around not having to do what everybody else is doing. So I think I got energetically burnt out in my business because I felt like I had to be on all these platforms. As soon as a new social media platform would roll out, I felt like I had to be on it. So for example, I started off with Instagram, and around that time, TikTok blew up and started to take off. And so I felt like I also had to be on TikTok. Then we also had Clubhouse, and I felt like I had to be on Clubhouse, and I was trying to optimize being on all these platforms at once instead of focusing on one social media platform and mastering it. Now, it's not only about choosing social media platforms that are trendy, because everyone usually has, it's given that everyone has at least Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, right, channel when they have a business. Or if you are a content creator or influencer, you are on at least one of those main platforms. But for me, I had to, after, I took the year off and I reflected on how I wanted to run my business more sustainably, I realized the reason why I was so energetically burnt out was because I was on platforms that weren't in alignment with who I was as a person and how I like to deliver content, how I like to connect with other people. And I'm someone that I love longer form content. I'm someone that with my friends, I'm the one having 2-3 hour phone conversation, and I love voice noting. And so I started to realize that Instagram was more of a platform for showing up quickly on your stories, delivering, these 5-second, 10-second, 1-minute reels, which is very hard for me to do. I'm not someone that was on social media before having a business. So to force myself to be on a platform every single day was not gonna work for me. And so I realized that other social media channels could be more in alignment, like YouTube, because with YouTube, I can pre-record my videos, I can go live if I want to, but I know the intention going behind how I want to show up. I like to connect with my audience more. I like to create longer form content that is going to resonate with them. and makes me feel comfortable. So that is how I decided to sort of regain that energy in my business, by being lit up about really choosing a platform that was more sustainable and more in alignment for me, and not following other people. And people to this day will tell me that I need to be on Instagram, I need to be on TikTok, and I do not want to be on those platforms, and I'm not going to force myself to be on platforms that don't feel right to me. So definitely staying true to yourself and showing up in the ways that feel good, that are still smart marketing strategies, right? So obviously there is reason and logic to some of the marketing strategies that are in place, and you don't have to just hop on everything that is trendy. You can still, stick with traditional marketing strategies that are still proven to work. Blogging, referral marketing, there are so many other ways to still market your business that don't consist of having to be on these fast, algorithm heavy social media platforms. Now, everyone thinks when they have a business that, money's gonna start pooling in, because we get really excited about what our business has to offer. Everyone thinks that their business is going to be the next best thing, that, they are gonna be that standout coach, or they're gonna have this product that like everyone's gonna be like waiting in line at stores to buy. And that is a great way to think about your business. I think it's amazing to walk into your business with that much optimism and confidence. Yes, we want to be delulu when it comes to our business, but not too delulu. Everything comes with a little bit of balance. So at the same time too, you really want to make sure that you set yourself up for success. So if you're going to run a business, you definitely want to make sure you have a little bit of a savings in place, especially if at some point you think you are going to quit your 9-to-5 to start your business and to go into it full time. You want to have that safety net. And you're also going to have some money to invest in your business. You're going to have to purchase certain tools and platforms, and maybe even support from the beginning. So these are things that we want to think about before we just jump into starting a business. What is it going to cost for the upfront investment, and also over the long term? And that is where like the business planning and strategy comes into place at the very beginning. And that business dashboard that I mentioned earlier is going to really help with that. And it also depends what market that you're in. I, as a coach, started making money really just a couple months in, and I actually also hired a business coach to help me get my business off the ground much faster than having to figure everything out myself. And so that was also an initial upfront investment that you might want to consider. And so actually you can watch that video. I'm just gonna keep doing this because I never know, wait, what side is the thing gonna pop up on? But watch the video on how coaching made me my 10K months. That is a really cool video to sort of inspire you to not be afraid to ask for help, to get mentorship, and to seek support. And that actually kind of moves me into my next point, which is the lie that you can do it all yourself. And I know everybody wants to be that self-made millionaire, did it themselves, but no one has actually ever accomplished any goal in their life and have actually done it on their own. I always say if someone says that, they are lying to you, because everyone, to get to somewhere, there had to be a hand involved, or a tool or some resource that aided you in getting to where you needed to be, right? So when I say do it all yourself, I'm not talking about only people being a part or participating in the process of you getting to where you need, but people have created things that you needed in order to run your business. So people will always be involved, right? Things can't be created without someone having done it behind the scenes or to birth it into reality. So that myth that there's that solo entrepreneur that's managing every aspect of their business is a lie. And actually, if you do end up doing that, at some point your business will fail, because in order to scale a business, at some point you will have to be less and less present over time, and eventually have to trust other people to run the business when you are not there, to run that business for you, or to run that business in a way that is going to help you optimize ways to spend less and to earn more. I know that, when we go into businesses, we're super passionate, but that is not going to be enough. You need to make sure that you have an efficient plan in place, that you have the right people around you, the right skills, the market demand. There is so much that goes into it Do not go in blindly thinking that I just need to like work really hard and everything's gonna turn out okay. It is more than working hard. Really running a successful business is all about working smart. And anything in life that you're going after, you shouldn't have to be working super hard, burning yourself to the ground. You know, it's so interesting that sometimes the people that have the most jobs are still the most poor, or the ones that are still struggling. And you would think, well, this person has 2-3 jobs. Why are they not ahead? I have one job, but I'm doing, I'm accomplishing these financial goals with just one income source. But it's really not how much money you have, but what you do with it. And it's the same thing with a business. It's not about how many followers you have or how much money you have coming in. Are you doing the things that are making your life easier and running your business easier over time, and giving you and awarding you that time and freedom? So passion does not necessarily equate to time and freedom. And that is where all this work comes in really unraveling all these other lies so that you can set yourself up for the best possible scenario and outcome. Then I would just say the last thing I want to mention on the topic of money, because that is really ideally like why so much people want to have a business, for that time freedom, but also financial freedom. Because with a business, your income is not capped. You can become the next millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire if you wanted to. No matter what you decide to do in your business, you are creating an income source for yourself. And so a lot of the times people think, well, I have to price my services or my products as cheap as possible so that I will have a rush of people coming to me, because, everyone out there wants a bargain. But at the same time too, you kind of get what you pay for. And so what will happen is that if people purchase a product, for example, that is super cheap, they might not come back to purchase your product again, because there are probably a lot of defuncts with the product. Maybe it's falling apart, the conditions of it, the wear and tear happens super, super, super fast, right? Think of you purchasing something super cheap. Does it last long? No. So that's the same way that you want to think about it, even from a service-based business and perspective, that whatever you are offering, the cheaper it is, the less likely that people are going to take that service seriously. So, for example, working with me one-on-one, I could make it $50 an hour, but I feel like people aren't going to value that service as much if, say, the difference was they were paying me over $100 or $200 to talk to me one-on-one for about an hour, which are some of the services that I provide. They are going to show up to the call with a lot more interest and with more and be more serious about what they are trying to get from me, because they have spent so much money. You're going to value it more. Just like someone who's maybe going to therapy, if you get free therapy, people who tend to get free services actually might not go, because I can go any other time, I don't have to pay for this. But when you have to pay $200, $300 for one therapy session, you are going to make sure that you show up and you absorb as much as you can as possible. You get as much as you can from that therapist, because you know that this is an expensive investment. So you are going to take it more serious. So I would go into your business thinking like that for both your products or services, depending what type of business you run. But definitely don't cheapen out. Do not cheapen out too early. At times you can run sales, you can do things to give back to people in a way where, maybe they don't have the necessary finances to purchase your items. You can give people those opportunities, but don't cheapen yourself out too much thinking that, well, if my products are cheaper, everyone's gonna come rushing to my business, or if my services are cheaper, everyone's going to come rushing to work with me. That's not necessarily the case, right? We want to focus on quality over quantity. And I would say in a nutshell, these are some of the lies that you've probably been told about running a business, and I want you to just be aware of them, because I don't want you to go into a business thinking that it's going to be super easy, you're going to make a bunch of money off the jump, that it doesn't really take that much work, you just need to be super passionate about it, or that you do have to run yourself into the ground in order to be successful. You can run a successful business. And if you need further help with getting your business off the ground, or scaling, or just finding some more ease and organization with how you are running it, I can definitely help you. Please reach out to me. In the description below, I have a link to schedule a call with me. You can check out my website. You can book a call with me there. You can send me an email, whichever way you feel like I can help you. And definitely comment below and let me know if you agree with some of these common misconceptions that people have about running a business. If you are an entrepreneur and you've been running it for a while, or you're just getting started, let me know if you agree with some of these. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my video, and check out some of these other videos that I've mentioned in this video as well, about how I made 10K months through hiring coaches, as well as why you don't need social media to run your business. So definitely check out those videos, and I will see you in another video. Bye.